Good evening, guys. I wanted to take the opportunity to take a look at a kit this evening. I haven't done a kit review in some time, and I really kind of wanted to do this for some time. Now, this is not a new kit to the community. In fact, Hamilcar has done a building review of this model and a review of the kit, but some time ago. But I wanted to take a look at it and give my view on it for a couple of reasons. It's certainly a popular subject, but this is the Zvezda 148 scale Messerschmitt Bf109 F-2, or Frederick as the pilots nicknamed it. The E series was the email, or email. But this kit is not your typical Zvezda kit. It is unprecedented value and price and quality of the moldings. I really can't speak to the fit. I've never built one of these Zvezda kits. But of course, this is a new tool kit. Now, this kit is from, there was a date on this here somewhere. This kit is just a few years old, 2012. So this is only a 2-year-old kit, made in Russia, of course. But absolutely beautiful. The detail for what you get. This kit can be had in the United States for about $17 to $19 with shipping. And I'm really sincere when I say there's probably not a more detailed 148 scale 109 for the money on the market, in my opinion. And a couple of things about the aircraft I wanted to talk about. I've done a review on an E series, a Bf109E. The F series, by many people, by many historians, is considered the ace maker because it represented substantial improvements in the performance of the aircraft and in the design of the aircraft, most notably in the aerodynamics. They lengthened the cowling, rounded the cowling to decrease drag. The spinner for the propeller actually came from the Messerschmitt 210. And for those of you who know, that was the predecessor to the 410. The 210 had its issues, but they used the spinner and a larger propeller from the Messerschmitt 210. They did put a more powerful engine in it, the Daimler-Benz 601A engine, which was equipped in the E series, was replaced with the DB601N version, and there was about a 75 horsepower improvement, which doesn't seem like that much. But with the aerodynamic changes, the wing tips, for example, were rounded, whereas on the E series they were squared off. The overall improvements in the aerodynamics of the aircraft, including in the cooling system and the radiator intakes, allowed them to increase the airspeed, the maximum speed of this plane over the E version, about 55 miles per hour, which is a pretty big jump considering the modest increase in horsepower to the 601N engine. And this was an inverted V, so it was an upside down V. Very interesting concept. In addition to this, it was the first of the 109 series that had the rounded supercharger intake. The canopy remained the same as that was in the E series. Now, this aircraft went in production in late 1940, so this was after the Battle of Britain. It would have been used heavily on the Eastern Front. There were also some tropical versions. Now, another considerable change to the design of this aircraft over the E series, or the email, was the removal of any wing root weapons, strictly going to centerline firepower. Now, the F-2 model, which is what this is, retained the two 7.92 millimeter MG, 17 machine guns in the nose cowling, and about 500 rounds per gun. But it had a Motorkanone inside the propeller shaft. The F-2 version had a 15 millimeter Kanone. As you know, that's not a very large cannon. But there was an advantage to having the firepower arrayed, linearly with the pilot. Now you didn't have to compensate and sight the guns as much because there was a bit of parallax because you had to get the guns to converge at a certain distance. So there was a sweet spot, so to speak. When you were engaging an enemy aircraft, if you had wing-mounted cannons, that aircraft had to be before before you could take hits. So the linear-mounted weapons. This, by the way, was one of the reasons that the P-38 Lightning was liked by its pilots so well, because of the same concept. All the weapons were in the nose, so it was easy to concentrate power. Nonetheless, there were some shortcomings. Adolf Galland was actually a big proponent. He did not think that it had enough firepower, and the F-4 version, which also had a few other improvements, included the increase in power to a 20mm cannon and the propeller and the nose shaft. So that's probably enough for the background of it. This is a small box. You know, this box is probably only about 13 or 14 inches wide, maybe only a couple inches thick. It's really nice. Pull the top off, revealing a cardboard hard box on the interior. The only thing that I do not like about the Zvezda kits that I've seen so far is there is no interior bags for the sprue, but I do like this flat box design. It's a very sturdy design. So here we have your legal information in multiple languages. You know, don't eat your model, don't shoot up your model in liquid plastic, the syringe. Decal sheet, which we'll get to that. What else do we have here? We have the instruction sheet, and we'll take a look at this as well. The instructions are actually pretty good, I think, in my opinion. And here is the goodies. Here's what's inside the kit. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 sprues, and we will just go sprue by sprue and take a look. I'll show you guys some of the detail and the features of this kit that I think were pretty fascinating. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here. You guys can see this a little better. And I'm going to hold this up. So here we have the first sprue, which consists of fuselage halves. I would like to note that all of the panel lines in this kit are fine recessed. I mean, very fine. And notice these are the engine mounts. You know, you have complete or separate engine mounts. Let me zoom in for you on that. If you would, please take a look at the detail on the engine mounts. Excellent. See the fine rivet detail on these panels, and a really nice looking little pilot figure there. There's that really large spinner with the opening for the 15mm motor cannon. So that's pretty much that sprue. I'll set that down there. Take a look at the next sprue. What we have is the engine cowlings, and you'll notice there are two, probably one for the F-2 variant because they make an F-4 variant as well. But the engine cowling, or the cowling for the nose, can be placed in the open position. And there another thing I want to point out, if you look very closely at that part right there, if you'd like to take a guess, those are cylinder heads. This kit has a complete engine, which is absolutely fantastic. So if you look at Hamilker's review, and I would encourage you to go look at it, so the engine mounts actually secure a complete engine, which I think is spectacular. And you can pose the canopy in a maintenance open position, propped up with the rod, and it just looks really nice in the photographs of the completed model that I've seen. But quite a bit of detail for the engine. This part here, for example, as you can see, is really nicely detailed. The level of the quality of the moldings on this kit is just what you kind of have to behold. For example, look at these cockpit instrumentation panels. There's two to choose from there. I'm sure that's the difference between the F2 and F4 variant. Really beautiful molding. And look at the detail on the inside of the landing gear hub area. So it's just asking for some RLM2, no doubt. And that would be a Jerry dog hair. So you can see the quality of the moldings is really, really exceptional. So this is the last sprue. No, it's not. I've got another sprue. So this is the bottom of the wings. And you can see, once again, the detail is really quite exceptional. And look at how the landing gear hub is actually molded as a separate piece. That's quite ingenious. So those go inside this hub, so it's not part of the wing struts. It's a really super nice feature. And take a look at that again. So there it is. It's really spectacular how they did that. I like that a lot. Last part of the kit, so this is the last sprue. Notice we have more parts for the engine here. That would be the exterior of this is probably going to be part of the block near the manifold. There's some more parts of the figure here as well. A nice big propeller, which was one of the improvements over the F series, or Frederick, that's what the crews called it, by the way, over the E series. And check out the separately molded and hollowed out a little exhausts for the engine. It's just really nicely done. There's the two trim wheels where'd it go? Oops. Two trim wheels that go inside the cockpit. So that's all of the sprues for the kit. The decal sheet is pretty nice. They're not shiny at all. In fact, they're very matte. They say they're made by Zvezda, so these are not going to be cartographed. There's a decal for the, let me zoom back out a little bit. There's a decal for the cockpit instrument panel. There's 2 or 3 different marking versions here. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with all the different units, but the decals look okay. You know, if I had to say, you know, if there was a weak part of the kit, I think the decals are probably it. But you know, they're probably usable. Now, this is the clear sheet. They're packaging them very much like Eduard packages their kits. There's 2 complete canopies here. They look very nice. They don't look thick at all, and they look very clear. So I think these are pretty nice parts. So next thing I want to take a look at here, let's go ahead and take a look at the instruction sheet. So I'm going to zoom back out for you guys just a little bit. So we have booklet style, fold out, you know, kind of like Tamiya does, instruction sheet, and with a really nice sprue map on the first page. Let me take a look at that. So if you want to cut the parts off the sprue and go back and identify them later, I personally don't do that. Some modelers do, and that's fine if that's the way you want to do it. But look at the instructions right away. They begin construction of the engine block, and this engine detail is very, very impressive. And I hope you guys can see that. See the engine construction. That consists of actually 7 steps, including the mount, all the way to here to number 7. So, really nicely done. The instructions look to be, they're printed very clearly. The pictures are rather large. You know, if these guys can do decent instructions, then why can't Dragon do good instructions? So, as we go on to the next page, the construction of the aircraft continues, of course, with the cockpit. The fuselage setup is a little different. They did that, I guess, so you could have the opposable cowlings. And as we continue on to more of the airframe, now another nice feature of this kit. So not only do you get a full engine, and you can pose the cowlings up for maintenance if you want to show off the engine, but the flaps, all the control surfaces, can be posed pretty much however you want, up or down. That's a really nice, another nice feature of this kit, which a lot of times you don't see except on the more expensive 1/32 scale kits. So we go right back into the continued assembly of the aircraft. You can see here, no surprises. Putting the propeller on. Here we have the radiator in the bottom of the aircraft. And apparently they sell an optional stand for this kit if you want to do it gear up. I'm not sure where you'd buy it. And they give a catalog number for it right there. So you can, I guess, order that from some dealer. And here's the painting and marking guide on the back. And they offer, well, they offer 1, 2, 3, 4 aircraft with a traditional splinter pattern from the top. Color callouts are in Model Master only. So, but you can convert those easy enough. I really just kind of wanted to point out the value of this kit, the features that you see, the complete engine, and the super detailing possibilities, the detail, the level of the quality of the moldings in this kit. And it's obviously a new tool because it's only 2 years old. And that's why I wanted to tell you guys about it. And the price and the value that this kit can be had for. It's just really, I think, I'm going to say it. I think it's one of the best 148 scale 109 kits in the market, and I would definitely recommend this to anyone looking for an F variant. And there are not a lot of F variants. There's some Hasegawas out, and I'm sure the Hasegawas are great, but you can't buy a Hasegawa new for $19. They're going to be more like $35. But guys, if you want to build a 109 and you're looking for you just want 1 or 2 kits and you like the F variant, this is the one to get. So. Thanks for tuning in on this episode of What's in the Box. I hope you guys have a good night. Take care. Bye-bye.